I don't think it's crazy to say, well, maybe it's crazy to say, but I'm being serious. The Warriors could make the NBA Finals if Moses Moody continues to play like this. Is it sustainable what he did against the New Orleans Pelicans where he had 7 first quarter three-pointers? I don't know, but I think there is room for Moses Moody to be a big-time offensive contributor for the Warriors this season. He's already showing us that he has been. Moses Moody, 32 points against the New Orleans Pelicans. As you're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports, I am your host, Tyler Smith, and I'm here to tell you that Moses Moody is the new Golden State Warriors X Factor. 32 points this game on incredibly efficient shooting. 10 of 16 from the field, 8 of 12 from long range is just unbelievable. And it's just another game where Moses Moody is showing his three-point shooting prowess, which has been prevalent all season long. But he just took it to an entirely different level against New Orleans Pelicans, a level that he has never yet hit in his basketball career, let alone his pro career. Here's what he had to say about this performance. He said, "That's actually my first time having 8 threes. I had 7 threes like 30 times in my life. I've done that plenty of times. But I got an uncle that told me when I was young, the most he hit was 8. So I've been trying to get it my whole life. And he's like, put a curse on me. I've never gotten it, so I'll probably give him this jersey or something. It's pretty cool." So the curse is lifted. Moses Moody has finally crossed over that threshold of 8 3-pointers made in a basketball game. And that makes me beg the question, could he reach another level this season? It's kind of a joke with the whole uncle thing and whatnot. But seriously, could Moses Moody be the reason the Golden State Warriors are able to beat anybody in this league, let alone the top contenders in this league, and go out there and make a finals run for Steph and the Vets? We'll tell you why in just a second. First, though, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We are producing Warriors content better than anybody else here on YouTube. We cover your team every single day, whether we are live for the Warriors game or post a video like this detailing what needs to be known about the Golden State team so far this season. We are also close to our next milestone of 100,300 subs. Get 76 members of Dub Nation. Go down below and hit that subscribe button, because why wouldn't you if you want free Warriors content every single day? All right, so far this season, Moses Moody has been a marksman. As far as the three-point shooting around the league goes, I mean, it's at an all-time high in 24-25. But we got guys shooting nearly 50% from three-point range, and Moses Moody is one of them. Guys who've taken more than 75 three-point attempts so far this year. Moses Moody ranks 3rd in three-point percentage. I mean, you got guys like AJ Green and Max Christie who don't even offer the defensive side of the ball productivity that Moses Moody does. It's crazy that he's shooting that clip while shooting 8 threes a game so far this year. It's unreal. He is truly emerging as an X factor in this rotation for Steve Kerr. I mean, what have we been preaching time and time and time again? When Moses Moody gets an opportunity, he is going to make the most of it, and he is going to produce at a high level. Before this NBA season, Moses Moody had hit 5+ threes just twice through his entire career. He's been in the league 4 years now. He's in his 5th season, and he has done it 3 times so far through 14 games this season. That's unfathomable, and it just tells me that with more responsibility given to Moses Moody, more minutes given to Moses Moody, he's going to have more performances just like the one we saw against the New Orleans Pelicans. It boggles my mind why this guy was not in the starting lineup already, why they continue to favor Brandon Pajemski, why they continue to favor Quentin Post or Jonathan Kuminga, even some other options that they would throw GP2 in the starting lineup from time to time. This guy needs to be an every single day starter for your Golden State Warriors. It's not even a question. He has been elite as a starter. Not only last year, because the home stretch of last season, Moses Moody was a permanent starter, and the Golden State Warriors were on a 60-win pace. But this season, he's not only winning games with the Warriors as a starter, but he's putting up starting-level buckets and starting-level stats. 17 points per game over the 5 games that he's played in the starting 5 so far. And even if you take away the 32-point performance that he had against the Pelicans, he's still averaging 13.5 points over the previous 4 games that he started. 3 rebounds is fine. He had 2 stocks per game as well, in addition to the 2 assists, and he's shooting at an elite clip. Like I said, nearly 9 3-point attempts per game, and he's shooting at a 44.2% clip. That is unbelievable. And like I said, the wins are coming along as well. Mark Grandy saying this: the Warriors are 23-4 in the regular season, 24-5 if you include the postseason, when sharing the foursome of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, and Moses Moody in the starting five. It does not matter who that fifth starter is. If it's Curry, Butler, Moody, and Green, the Warriors rarely lose. So I would beg Steve Kerr to continue to keep Moses Moody in that starting lineup. And there's going to be shooting ruts. There's going to be shooting slumps. There's going to be ruts. There's going to be pitfalls that Moses Moody has during the course of the season. But just keep him in the starting lineup because of what he can offer not only on the offensive end, but also on the defensive side of the basketball as well. Moses Moody raises the floor of the Golden State Warriors defense. Just look at the numbers, man. It's simple. On-off numbers tell you a big story in this league. Moses Moody on the court in the 247 non-garbage time minutes. That's why they put that asterisk there. The Warriors are limiting opponents to 105.7 points per 100 possessions. That would be near the top of the league if you took it over a larger sample size. And then when Moody's off of the court, they're at the bottom of the league in terms of points per 100 possessions by the opponent, 117.6. So there is a 12-point difference to when Moses Moody is off the court compared to when he's on the court in terms of this Warriors defense limiting their opponents. It's unbelievable. And if you want to see it like put to action, put to an example of what Moses Moody can do on the defensive side of the ball, he has this elite trait of getting over screens and using his length to get skinny around screens when he's putting the ball screen actions here. If you see Jeremiah Fears running the high ball screen and you see Moses Moody kind of caught behind him already, Moody ends up covering all the ground, recovering, and getting in front of Jeremiah Fears here, limiting, basically taking away his entire lane to either go get a basket or go get a drive and kick opportunity here. So that's just one of many instances of Moses Moody being an active defender, both on and off of the basketball. There aren't many better role players you could ask for at the price point that Moses Moody makes right now. It's unbelievable to me that this guy it hasn't been invested in as much as some of the Warriors' other young talent has. And it's crazy considering he was drafted over a guy like Brandon Pajemski, who the Warriors have put more value into over the last few seasons. Like, they were willing to include Moses Moody in the trade for Lauri Markkanen over Brandon Pajemski. Like, that was the reason that they had a big-time hiccup in that trade. The Warriors valued Pods more highly than Moses Moody. Moses Moody, a guy who can go out there and defend your other team's best player. He can go out there and play small ball four, can operate in the dunker spot, can operate around the perimeter, can operate with the ball in his hands and without the ball in his hands as well, because this guy shoots 55% on step-back jump shots as well. It just makes no sense to me how they haven't gone to him sooner. I'm glad they finally woken up now because the play, it speaks for itself. And not only with Moses Moody, but with another player that has emerged in this Warriors lineup. Well, I kind of thought that it was going to take Moses Moody's minutes away, but no, they're playing them together. Rookie Will Richard has entered the starting lineup as well, and it's just honestly disrespectful that these guys are getting paid $12.8 million. Meanwhile, Jonathan Kuminga is getting paid $22.5 million. I mean, is Jonathan Kuminga making $10 million more of an impact than these two guys combined? No, he's making less of an impact than both of them individually. So it just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how much money you make in this league. If you want it bad and if you put the work in, you are going to be rewarded. Moses Moody, Will Richard, they have been so far this season. Show some love to Moses Moody down in the comment section right now. I want to see 500 fours down there. I want Moses Moody to see this video and know how much Dub Nation is behind him so far this season. Drop his jersey number down in the comment section right now. As next up, we're going to get into some Jonathan Kuminga news. He's been on the injury report for the past few games for Golden State, and then we're going to talk about some trade rumors that could be popping up here in the near future as well. That in just a moment. First, though, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor. As this episode is brought to you guys by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. And for new users, you can get hooked up with the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the game, giving you $50 in lineups instantly after you play your first $5. Like I said, it's the best in the game. All you guys got to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you watch the winnings roll in watching your favorite sports. You can win up to 2,000 times your money watching your Warriors this season, and you can take advantage of all the awesome features that they have on Prize Picks, like stacks. So if you want to take multiple stat projections from the same player and put it in one lineup, you can do so only on Prize Picks. It's also becoming a social event as well, where you can follow your friends, follow celebrities, follow other creators, and copy their lineups into your own using the brand new feed tab. I have this lineup for Monday's football action. I got Ashton Genty more than a half rushing or receiving touchdown, and then CeeDee Lamb more than half a rushing or receiving touchdown. Both these superstars to get in the paint. You can tell my picks or fade them. Just do it at Prize Picks. Download the app today and use the code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, Jonathan Kuminga has missed the last 2 games. Well, basically missed the last 2 games. He only played 12 minutes in the first matchup against the San Antonio Spurs and then ended up missing the last 2 against San Antonio and the New Orleans Pelicans. And the Warriors have looked pretty solid over those last 3 games. Does that mean anything? I don't know, but Tim Kawakami kind of brought it up. Now, Jonathan Kuminga with his knee soreness is likely going to be back in the next Warriors matchup. He was around for shoot-around, but the Warriors decided to keep him out of the game against the Pelicans when they kind of thought that they would be able to take care of business in that one, which they did. But they've looked pretty good without Kuminga in the lineup, and Warriors insider Tim Kawakami brought this up. He said, "I'll be accused of being mean for this, but I'll just say these were the best 2 games of the Warriors season so far." And Kuminga played 12 minutes in the first one and none in this one, being the second game against San Antonio. I'm not saying he's a bad player or useless. I'm saying that this is worth noting. And it's also something that we aren't entirely surprised by because we've seen it in the past. When the Warriors were without Jonathan Kuminga and consequently Moses Moody was in the starting lineup and they were running all this new action after Jimmy Butler was traded to the Warriors in February, that was the best version that we've seen of the Golden State Warriors. The best version that we've seen with Jimmy Butler on this team has not included Jonathan Kuminga, and that remains true this year. That's not to say that Kuminga has been the worst version of himself. He's actually been the best version of himself, especially through the first 5 or 6 games of the season. But over the last few, he's been inefficient. He's been, overthinking a lot. The handle hasn't been there. The turnovers have been up, and that begs the question, do you think about trading him a little bit sooner than maybe you would have once that restriction is lifted? It's going to be January 15th when he is eligible, and you guys got to remember, the plan has always been to trade Jonathan Kuminga. When he signed this extension, that was the notion that they, 2 sides, Warriors and Kuminga and his agent, would be working to find a trade partner when this exception is basically lifted in January. Now, there are a couple guys who would be like, yeah, we'd be all for this. There are a couple teammates who would be like, yeah, we probably should be better off keeping Jonathan Kuminga on the roster. Draymond Green is one of those. Here's what he said about Kuminga going to the bench and whatnot. He said, obviously, I think JK has been playing really well. So to go out of the starting lineup, it kind of sucks. But I also think people make starting and coming off the bench sometimes more than what it really is. So I don't understand this from Draymond's point of view. You just said it sucks that Kuminga's going to the bench because he's playing great. But then you downplayed, getting taken out of the starting lineup. Pick a side, Draymond. He continues to go and be the number 1 Jonathan Kuminga defender, and I'm honestly, that's admirable to me because as a leader and a voice in this locker room, you can't you're only as strong as your weakest link, so you can't bury Jonathan Kuminga even though he's struggling a little bit. Draymond continues to have to uplift him, and I respect that. But at the end of the day, he's just not a fit on this team, and the Warriors would probably be better off finding an even less talented role player that fits better in the system. And I know it's crazy that I'm bringing that up again because I've said it all summer. Go out there and acquire somebody that would just fit this team a little bit better, be more conducive to what the Warriors want to do. And I think there would be a legitimate trade interest for Jonathan Kuminga around the trade deadline, even more so than just the stuff we saw in the summer with the Suns and the Kings. I think there's going to be more interest. People saw what he was capable of at the beginning of this season. People have seen what he's been capable of the past few seasons. So I think there's going to be teams that are going to be interested in his services, interested in making a deal with the Golden State Warriors. And when you think about teams that are already invested or already involved in the trade rumors circling around the NBA, the Kings, the Mavericks, the wheels are kind of beginning to turn here on the trade rumors that will be prevalent in February around the trade deadline. So we're going to be keeping you guys tapped in on all that you need to know about Golden State and their trade pursuits once the new year rolls around. But I got to ask you guys this right now. Should the Warriors trade Jonathan Kuminga once he is eligible? Or would you rather him kind of stay on this roster and then ride this thing out into the postseason and see what they got with JK? What do you guys have to say? Why for yes and for no? Should the Warriors trade Kuminga when he's eligible or not? As that will do it for today's show. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/WarriorsTV. Trying to get to our next milestone here on the channel. We will be live as well tomorrow on Tuesday for Warriors versus Magic. We'll see you guys all then. And as always, let's go Dubs.